Welcome back to Coffee Talk. Grab your coffee and join us for our talk today. We're Keith and Terri. We talk all things retirement. We talk about aging, travel, all things. But today, we're going to talk about the heat wave. I don't know about you guys, but we're about to melt down.
It's hot here today. The heat index today is supposed to be between 105 and 110. So we're so blessed to have air conditioning.
And we're recording this in the morning. It's not even 10 o'clock in the morning here. And getting things ready to set up and film. I mean, I had sweat pouring off of me, and we're in the air-conditioned house. Yeah. It's crazy ridiculous. And I know a lot of the country has been experiencing a major heat wave. And I think for the next 4 days here in Indiana, the heat index in the afternoon will be 105 to 110. And it is just crazy. Crazy.
Then next week the heat index is supposed to go down to about 100 to 105. So it'll be feeling really good then.
Woo, we'll feel all cool. But it's crazy to think about when we grew up, neither of us had air conditioning. You just open the windows and then you would put a fan in the window,
little box fan,
to like blow in some of that cool night air. But I don't know.
We would lay down on the floor in front of the box fan and just take a nap.
And I remember when we moved here in this house, we didn't have air conditioning. No. And it was hard on the hot, humid days to run the sweeper because the carpet was just so damp from all the humidity. So it's just crazy. And I think part of it is that we've gotten a little soft because now we're used to air conditioning. But part of it, I think, is because as we age, our bodies can't regulate our temperature like they did when we were younger. I know when I was younger, I could stay out all day in the sun. It did not bother me one bit. But just last week, we were at the pool with our grandkids, and we weren't there 2 hours. And I said, I have got to go get in the shade. I just couldn't take that anymore. So there's something about aging that changes the way your body can regulate its own temperatures. While most of the country is in this heat wave, we need to be aware that excessive heat can bring on sudden heat-related illnesses. There's a thing called heat syncope. I think that's how you say it. And it's where you just suddenly get dizzy. And that has happened to me many times when it's really, really hot. So that's something to look out for if it's excessively hot and you suddenly get dizzy.
And another thing to look out for is something called heat cramps.
You can get spasms in your muscles because you sweat so much, you lose your salt, you lose those electrolytes. And so you have to drink things with salt and electrolytes to replenish that. And if you're out in the heat and you start getting muscle cramps and spasms, you know, okay, this is an early sign of heat-related illness, and I need to get in the shade, cool down, and drink.
These are warning signs your body gives you when it's in distress sometimes.
Another thing to look out for is heat edema. And edema is merely swelling. And I suffer with that. I have swelling in my legs. And especially if I sit too much or if I stand too long, it's like the blood can't work its way back up to my heart and fluid builds up in my calves and in my feet and ankles. And so that is something to look out for. If your feet and legs start swelling, you know, okay, my body is not getting rid of this fluid. I need to get my feet up. I need to get in the shade. I need to drink lots of water. And you would think, okay, you're retaining fluid, don't drink water. But no, it's just the opposite. When you start retaining fluid, you need to drink in order to process that fluid through your body and get it out.
And then another thing that you can be looking out for when it's hot like this and the heat wave is going on is a heat rash.
Yeah, if you're outside and you're doing a lot of walking or working or whatever, like in between your legs where they rub together, or under your arms where they rub against the skin, you can get a rash, and it's a heat rash.
Yeah.
And it'll go away once you cool down and you get in the shade and everything. So it's another thing to look out for. And I think it's awesome how God designed our bodies to have all these warning signs that warns us, okay, this is a warning sign, warning sign, warning sign. Like, get out of the sun, get out of the sun, and get out of the heat. And, you know, before we go into something terrible.
Like heat stroke or something like that.
Because that is life-threatening, and we don't want to get to that point.
No.
Another thing to look out for is heat exhaustion. And that's when you're out there, you stop sweating, you get that dizziness that we talked about, and you're just have no energy whatsoever. And heat exhaustion is the step before heat stroke. And then the last thing is heat stroke. And like we said, that is life-threatening. That's when your body has gotten past the point of being able to regulate your body temperature, and your body temperature has risen way too high, and people die from heat stroke. So we just wanted to get on here and talk about this because the whole country right now, it seems, is in a heat wave. And it's really difficult when you have outside things to do. It's really difficult to stay cool. And so you have to take a lot of breaks. You have to drink a lot of water. Our son works at a farm 3 days a week, and he's only up there 3 hours. But when he comes home, there is not a dry stitch on him. So we mix electrolytes in his water jug, and he has Gatorade. And I mean, it's just crazy. Even sometimes with doing all of the preventive things, when it's 110, it's just, you just cannot regulate the body temperature. And like I said, we're sitting here in our air-conditioned house, and I'm sweating because I'm hot. It's crazy. So let us know, how are you guys dealing with this heat wave? And do you find that as you've gotten older, it's harder for you to stay out in the heat like you used to? I just can't do it anymore. Even with a hat on and sitting under an umbrella under the shade, I still can't stay out in the heat too long. It just really bothers me.
I love sitting out on our porch in the mornings and just relaxing, but when it's like this, I go out for maybe 5 minutes, and that's all I can take. So, you know, when it's people our age, especially, you got to be really, really careful.
That's why they always say, watch out for the elderly. If there's people in your life that you know that are getting up in years, if it's excessive heat, check on them. Because many times, I know Keith's dad was like this when he was living. They won't turn on their air conditioner. Well, I'm not hot. I'm not turning that on. I don't want my electric bill being too high. And so they don't take those measures to keep themselves cool, and they can't regulate their body temperature. So it's very important that we check on our loved ones. Well, thanks for joining us today. And if there is a subject that you would like for us to talk about in a coffee talk, let us know in the comments. We'll see you next time on Retired and Loving It. If you would like to see more of our videos, click the video that just popped up on your screen